Well, folks, I went on a shopping spree at a flea market. Got me some old school gold. Pretty cool, huh? Gotta love it.
Well, howdy, folks. Welcome to my show. Did a little flea market run yesterday and found some cool things. And I know I enjoy watching that. So I thought I'd sit here in the camper while I'm taking a break, because paddling and digging and all that is wearing me out. So I thought you'd enjoy seeing these things, so I'll get right to it. Thank you so much for coming along. And I'm going to need some spectacles. So I can see what it says on these things. And I'll try to keep my elbows on the table so I don't shake so dang much. But let's get at it. Somebody say, Santa, don't go busting me like that. Yeah, keep it to yourself. Well, I went to a flea market and see what they had, and it turned out they had a lot of cool stuff. So, I'm going to start out with, well, I got me a really nice jitterbug. I mean, pretty, and it's a wooden one. And I'll have to look it up and find out. I thought I brought my book with me, but I don't know where I put it. So there's all kinds of info on these things, and if you happen to know what era this is and all that, drop it in the comments for me, any of these lures, because I know there's all kinds of different ways they did the eyes. So this is seriously a fairly old one, but boy, it's in great shape. Yeah, so pretty cool. Got a pretty decent price on it. Check this guy out. Ain't that a crazy deal? Now this one's kind of beat up, so he's going fishing. He's going fishing unless one of you informs me that I shouldn't take this fishing. There's a name on this guy. McKinnon Wattlebug. McKinnon Wattlebug. And if you know anything about McKinnon Wattlebugs, let me know. I'm guessing it's going to walk kind of like that jitterbug, but I don't really know. Never heard of them. Might be in the book I got, but I thought I packed it, but probably did, and I just ain't found it. So that's pretty cool. Some stuff I just got really cheap because, well, this guy, the hook was falling apart in the back there, as you can see. So the guy dropped the price in half, so that brought it to like $4, something like that. So I grabbed it because I'm going to fish it. I think a pike will grab that. Orange and black, we do well with that. And that is a Cisco Kid. I don't know if you can see that on there or not. But it might be backwards in this silly camera. There we go. Cisco Kid. I think they still sell those, actually. Musky fishing. I can't get him to sit down, so we'll drop him. Got this. I really like the color of this. This is a South Bend Bassarino. Yeah, so we just kind of, it'll float to the top, and as soon as you start going along, that front will scoop down. And I'm not really sure what era this color would have been, or what this color would be called. If you know, let me know. Because it would help me out considerably. But I'm planning on throwing it. See if we can't catch fish, put it on the show. And got a little Lucky 13 from Hidden. Lucky 13. What's that called on there? Tiny. Hidden Tiny Lucky 13. And I thought the color was pretty cool. And I plan on tossing it. Kind of cool. Like one of the, I think it's plastic, so I guess that'd be called a spook or something. So, got that. And I did get a river runt. So I got one from my dad, but I'm afraid I'll lose it. So, And it's a good perch color. Hidden river runt. And I guess I got too much shine on there or something. There we go. Pretty cool. And it's a sinker. River runt. Hidden river runt. Spooked sinker. Boy, they write a lot of information on these old lures. Gotta love it. Great thing about hidden. You don't have to guess what it is. And my wife got me some presents. And these are not old, but they're made by Hidden. It is a pumpkin seed. And kind of in a frog color, which I don't know why I'm such a sucker for that. From watching these different shows, it seems like everybody else is too. But it's actually made by Hidden. It was a reproduction, like a repo run, because they're so popular. You see these things for sale there. You just walk away. The real ones, you know, the old ones. Guys think they got a gold doubloon or something. Here's another one. Now this one, they did the repo run on it, but this guy's got rattles in it. So he's got this bright red face. I don't know if they made him that way originally, kind of frog color with a bright red face and yeller underneath. And but as you can hear, this guy's got rattles. The other one don't. The other one is just solid. But my wife was kind enough to get me some birthday presents. She got me a Paul Bunyan lure box. Pretty much just, there's a lure in here, but it is not the one on the box. But that makes it cheaper, because they could charge a lot more if they had the real lure in here and it was in good shape. But the boxes are actually worth more than the lures. Crazy, huh? Yeah. But this one was in really great shape, and I love that color and that whole design. And pretty cool. There's actually some lures in here from Paul Bunyan, but they're not that lure. And this one, I'm not quite sure if it really is or not, because it don't say anything on it. It is just a little minnow, plastic minnow with a spinner on the front. A little spinner harness. You can see that? Yeah, I guess you can see that on my hand. Anybody knows anything about this? Put it in the comments. Sure would appreciate it. Yeah. So, and I guess I am tilted a little bit here. Get my whole head. Yeah, now these things get cut off on the YouTube, so I better tilt it a little. And the other one is a spoon. Kind of like a red eye. It's called a flash eye. Flash eye spoon, Paul Bunyan Bait Company, Minneapolis, Minnesota. I think that's the abbreviation for that. And he's a little beat up, so he's going out and try to catch me a fish of some sort. I don't know if I can get that so you can see that. But luckily these spoons, these old spoons, now this is kind of like a red eye, and then they got a little sparkle deal going right in the middle of the eye, like it's got a pupil or something. Don't know if that matters, but we're going to see if we can catch us a nice fish on that. And there's lots of little paperwork in here. I think he just threw it in there, cut it off of stuff. Not the real paperwork, but the box was so cool. And my wife noticed that I wasn't going to buy it because it's not the right lure. But I thought it was really cool. And really nice of her to get it for me for my birthday, which is probably 4 months from now. Works for me. I did get something that looks kind of like it, but it ain't the same thing. It's kind of a weight forward spinner and a fly. And can't remember what that one was called. It's got name on it. Chanel Bait Company. Maybe Milwaukee, Illinois, or something similar to that. If you know. SC Hell Bait Company. If you know anything about that, let me know. I'd sure appreciate it. Just starting to get into collecting these things, and they're kind of cool. And it looks similar to the box, so, but it's not the right thing. It's not Paul Bunyan. And there was a whole bunch of spoons in a bag for like $5, so I got them. They're from Fluger. This one's called a Magic. Cool. Number 1, Fluger. Got some kind of bulldog on it, trademark. Made in the USA. You don't see that much anymore, do you? I don't know if I can get that. Probably not. But that's what it is. If I get it too close, it won't be right. And the other one is also a Fluger, a little heavier. This one's called a Limper. Fluger Limper, made in the USA. And you can see by the offset nature of it, it's probably darts all over the place. So you'll probably see this one better in there if I can hold it still. Yeah, Fluger Limper. I mean, it looks like that thing would dart around the way it's offset like that. I think I'm going to catch fish on that. And then we also got Fluger. I think it's a chub. Fluger Chum. Fluger Chum. Made in the USA. And this one's weedless, so this might be good for down here in Florida. So pretty weedy down here and lots of timber in the river and that kind of thing. So we got that. And there's a tiny one of these too. My wife also got me, there was this whole bin of stuff. And it turns out, guys will give your wife a better deal than you. Because I already got him down. I got him down to like $20. And then he saw her digging through her pocket to buy it for me. It was full of lures. And she came out with like $14 or something. He says, that'll work. I think the little buggers only cost $2 a piece. But one of them is the fly rod version of that little Fluger Chum. Cool, huh? Yeah, used to be people weren't so uptight about what they threw on a fly rod. And they made little lures for throwing on a fly rod. Pretty cool. And it's the same as this other one I just showed you. Fluger Chum. And it says it on there, but there's no way this camera's going to pick that up. This phone. There was little versions like the Bassarino. I don't see anything written on this guy. But it's like a little Bassarino for your fly rod. You could probably toss it on an ultralight if you come across them. I have several others that I bought at a flea market here last year. Little fly rod lures. And a lot of the companies made them. Here is I call this? Oh, this is a midget daredevil. Basically for throwing on your fly rod. Of course, nowadays you can get a little ultralight, throw it on that. And you could read it on there maybe. But you guys all know that. Even I knew about daredevil. This one's called a Fly Ike. It says on here. If I can do that. I hope you can read that. It's probably backwards or something. But Fly Ike. It's like Lazy Ike for your fly rod. And that's yellow and red. I do real well with yellow and red. So, you know I'm going to be tossing that. I got a fly rod. Yeah. And this one, I'm guessing it's a Lazy Ike, but I don't see nothing on it. But this one looks seriously old. Look at the hook harness on the back. You only see that on really old lures. Because I imagine it was a pain in the butt to unhook it out of the fish's mouth. And, yeah, just kind of chugs along. Yeah, these are slow moving. Lazy Ikes are a slow moving lure. So, got that. And so basically she only paid like a couple of bucks each for these. And they're seriously old. But fly rod fishing now is sometimes, it doesn't have to be such a a big deal. You can fish. I love to fish a Rebel crawdad on a fly rod. Perfect weight for that. Do really well with that, especially on trout. Yeah. And here's another lazy Ike. And he's actually got a little swivel snap hook to him. Tiny. I don't think I could even make that function right with my old hands. That says lazy Ike on the other side. I don't know if you can see that, but if I get it too close, I know you can't see that. But she got me all those, and there's a couple of little bugs in there. Look like dragonfly nymphs. And then I got another river runt. No, I guess not a river runt. It's a vamp. Kind of looks like a river runt, don't it? It is called a vamp, and I just thought, I love this color. Of course, we catch a lot of things on yellow perch, so, you know. Had to have it. It was only like $4, so looks in pretty good shape. So, hidden vamp. Yeah, I'm supposed to be showing you. Yeah, I already know. Let's see if I can hold still long enough. Sorry about the shaking. Keep my elbows on the table, maybe I won't shake so bad. And what else did we get here? I showed you that. Oh, well, the guy gave me this real cheap. I guess nobody wanted that big bugger. Well, I think it looks like somebody painted over it. It's a flatfish. Painted it red like that. It kind of looks like, let's see what it would be, a T60. Big guy. And it looks like somebody actually replaced the, or put, what do you say, split rings on the hooks. Maybe changed out the hooks. I'm not sure. They look like pretty good hooks. So I'll probably put some yeller pattern on there. A lot of confidence throwing that. See who hit it. Big bass maybe, or pike. Yeah, maybe a muskie. Yeah, that'd be cool. So be ready for that. And then some, this is like a buck. Yeah, I think it's just a knockoff. It could be like a Lucky Strike or something. I see those up in Canada. They still use these scoop bill kind of deal. Yeah. And kind of looks like a river runt. But I won't be afraid to lose that. It looks like his hooks need to be straightened out a little bit. Probably got it snagged on something, or that's where they found it. Snagged on something. And that's pretty cool. Oh, we got some really old ones. If somebody could help me out with these, that would be great. These look seriously old to me, because they got the hooks. See, you got a hook on each side of the bait, and then one in the back. And you got your spinner on the front. So I'm guessing top water, but I'm not really sure, because some of these older lures aren't top water lures. They're for underwater. So, but it doesn't seem to have any writing on it at all, at least that I can find. Of course, my eyes aren't what they used to be. But if you could help me out with that, I would sure appreciate you putting that in the comments, what you think that is. And some people are very knowledgeable about these things. Already saying it, aren't you? And this guy, who is, I'm guessing, a top water, because he's got buzzers on both ends, spinners on both ends, and he's laying on his side. That's pretty cool. So I'll show Chris Retro Bassin was doing with a guy from Old Ben's Tackle, and it doesn't say Old Ben's on it, so yeah, they did a lot of copying off of each other, and they didn't make any qualms about it. But that's what it would look like on the side, but that's not how it sat. And this is actually pretty smart, because that's usually what the fish sees on a fishing lure, right there. That's it. That redwood gets some attention. This is what they see. And that's natural camouflage. If they're looking up at that against the sky, this is natural camouflage. But somebody used their head and put it so it looks like he's dying on his side. Where he's like. And that's what the fish see. And he had some, I'm guessing they're called tack eyes, maybe? And I guess they were painted because he's got one good eye and he's got one bad eye. Like a lot of us. He's got 3 hooks, but he's meant to sit on his side. I'm going to turn him around here. Meant to sit on his side, so the fish is seeing that. Pretty smart, I think. I have to wait to see what you folks say about that, and if I can find my book. Maybe I shouldn't be chucking this out there, but it'd be a pretty cool show. Sharpen the hooks up. That was common practice when I was young. You had your hook sharpener with you. You sharpen the hooks up. Yeah, so, kind of hate to replace the hooks on these old buggers. But it might just end up being a collector if you tell me that, because it could be worth a lot of money. Reasonable shape, huh? Same thing with the other guy. Could be he's, everybody's going to be going, no, don't chuck that out there. Some pike or pickerel will chew the heck out of that. Be fun to catch one on it, though. And I didn't ever heard it from anybody I know, so, and I got them cheap. Got them pretty cheap. So, and let's see what we got here. We also got the lures, the Bassarino. Oh, another one over here. Kind of like a Bassarino. It doesn't seem to have anything on it, so maybe it's just a cheap one. Or maybe if you know something about it, maybe it's an old one. But I'm thinking it was a Fisher, because it's, it's got some issues. Something got on it. Yeah, that stripe I don't think came with it. But it looked like that, I imagine. And, feels light, so maybe a floater and then it goes down. Some of these were called Fisherinos. I remember Richard Obasson was interviewing a guy that was saying that, and they would sink, count down like the sinking river run, and you could kind of count it down and then start reeling and fish different depths. But I'm thinking this one probably floated. It feels light, but you never know till you fish it, right? But I also found some fishing reels. This one kind of from my past. I had the smaller version of this. This is a Mitchell 306, I believe. Yep, 306. I can show you that. 306, and probably backwards. See if I can fix that in the editing, maybe. I think my son showed me how to fix that. And he's not with me, so it might not happen. But it is in excellent shape. This sucker's got to be from the 60s, maybe early 70s. And this spool actually has the original, this spacer in here. You could take it out, so you could fill it up with heavy line. Or you could use lighter line and have this in there so you didn't have to use so much line. Yeah. And sometimes when you use it really deep, the line gets buried in there because it's, you're never going to get down there with the light line. Say if you put super braid on this or something. But an even light monofilament. But it's a 306. I imagine they were using something around 15, 20 pounds, 30 pounds, something like that. I had the Mitchell 300. Man, we beat the snot out of them. Me and my dad had them. And I'm sure it was a birthday present or something for me. And you had to have a Mitchell 300. This ain't a 300, but it's 306, so pretty cool. And I mean smooth, because I don't think this guy used this thing. Yeah? Look at that. I mean, like you just bought it yesterday. Smooth. You have to find me a rod to match up to this. Yeah, and I know it's in great shape. But these Mitchells got beat the snot out of because they were the thing. I mean, they were the thing you had to have every year. Oh man, you saw somebody with one, you were like, oh man, I gotta get me one of those. Really good quality, and you could take these off, boom, and put a different spool on. Had a little push button on the top. This was cutting edge technology, and the drag would already be set when you put that back on. Snap it right back in there, and you're ready to go. Made in France, these guys were. Big deal. And gotta love it. I mean, I got it for $40. and it came with extra spool, which they did. I remember mine came with an extra spool. Now ours, me and my dad had 300s. We fished them everywhere, including the shore and the salt water. And you rinsed it out when you got back, but still, the paint all came off on the bottom, and they looked rode hard and put away wet, is the saying, I guess. And it had clicker on. If you're bait fishing or something, you got your clicker. They call it an anti-reverse now. And but newsflash to everybody that's fishing these on TV that wasn't from that time period. We didn't have that on when we were fishing lures. We just did this. And you held on to that T handle, which is substantial. And that was your anti-reverse, was your hand. We use this for bait fishing. Get it set, boom. And so when you grab that rod and yanked it, boom, didn't spin back on you. But we didn't fish lures with that going click, 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 click the whole time. You'd wear it out. You could buy a new one. You probably still could buy new parts for this. These things were made to last and to be repaired. Man, you just don't see that anymore. I was so excited to get that, especially at that price. $40, and I mean, it didn't have the box with it, but I had it in my hand and I wasn't putting it down. And it came with an extra spool in this nice little case. And matter of fact, this spool was probably what was on it, and the one that's on it was the extra spool. This one is full of line. Now, I don't know how good that line is, but if you keep monofilament out of the sun, it holds up good. So we'll give it a whirl. A lot of times I fish super braid because I don't like losing these lures once I buy them. Titanium leaders, the whole bit. But I got some monofilament here because sometimes it matters. I don't find it a whole lot, but if you're fishing something really slow, like a worm, that kind of thing, you know, suspend and jerk, that kind of deal, I think the line really kind of matters then when they get a really good look at it. But there it is, old school reel with old school extra spool and cool little case. Even says Mitchell on top there. What's this one? Oh, this is the 406. So let's see what there's. Does it say 406 on it? No, it says 306. Let's see if this even works. And yes, it does. So they must have used the same size spool. Or the case that this is in is from the 406. Does feel a little loose in there. That's alright. I'm going to use it. I'm going to find a rod to match this thing. I tried to find one yesterday, but nobody had anything that was up to the caliber and down to the price. So, that back in there and ready to roll. And I got another one. It's not a Mitchell, but when I got the thing, geez, these old things, they really put the wording right on there, you know. And this little guy, is pretty smooth for an old. I mean, this is seriously old. This might have been one of the first spinning reels out. And really, it doesn't flip up like you're used to. It flips out like that. And boom. Then so when you cast it, boom, you're out. And then you're not. A little different. But on it, see if I can get this right here. And get it so you can see it. This is made by the train guys. Minnow, I think it's called. Better check that because sometimes my head gets things backwards. Yep, Minnow Corporation. Arex Corporation, division of the Lionel Corporation. And it says Bach Brown Master Reel. Patent applied for, made in USA, Model 3. Is that 3? I think so. I think that says 3 on it. I don't know how many different ones they had. But that bugger actually still works pretty good, so I'm going to try fishing it. Maybe with those little lures. Probably put some really light line on there, and probably use them on a fly rod too, but that's what they were for. But that's pretty dang cool. And look at all the information on there. You don't see that anymore. There it is. Pretty dang cool. Now, if anybody knows about this, the history of it and all that, I know that book I have does not have spinning reels in it. It has bait casters, and it has lots of lures and things, fly reels, that kind of thing. But it does not have spinning reels. Not a lot of older spinning reels. It's kind of a newer, as old as I am, but newer concept in fishing is spinning reels. So there you go. Pretty sweet, huh? Yeah, it's got a drag on it. It needs a little cleaning, yeah, but I'll tell you what, I picked that sucker up and I was like, it was, I think $15, something like that. I won't put this one down neither. I mean, that's really smooth. I mean, it looks like somebody was using that pretty much. Or at least it was in somebody's garage where it kept getting moved around, because it's got a little dinged up, but it's smooth. Back when we made quality stuff in the USA. And this is USA. The Mitchell's from France, but this guy is from the USA. Pretty sweet. Sorry, I had to go inform some kids they're not allowed to play on my solar panels. Oh, I'm sure I was just as bad. And their mom was pretty nice about it, and off they went. Yeah, we got a couple solar panels out to keep things charged up. Guess we're not hooked up to electric. But then again, pretty sweet. Pretty cool deal. Oh, yeah, and when you're in Florida, you got to get yourself one of these. Yeah. Ho, ho, ho. Oh, I almost forgot. Got a tackle box. It's actually in an antique store way in the back, buried in the back. And, you know, it's just retro. It's not super old, but, yeah, I remember them. And it is a Plano Magnum. Yeah, pretty sweet, huh? It says it on here somewhere. Yeah, Magnum. It's a little dirty, needs a little cleaning. But that'll be great for my canoe and kayak fishing. Glued that sucker up. And guess what? There was something in here. And there is, I saw that stitch. Somebody had stuck that to the lid there. And there's something about Banjo minnow weights, and I was like, what? I opened it up. It's full of the original Banjo minnows. Well, not full, but there's probably 2 dozen of them in there. So, pretty sweet. $5. Snatched it up. I just snatched these up for $5. These are the original Banjo minnow. I have some of the new ones I got a hold of. But these are the originals. I had them back in the day, but pickerel and pike, they don't hold up long. Bass, they hold up pretty well. And there's different sizes and different colors. Probably got it as a gift. We all got them as gifts back then from our family because it was on TV. The Banjo minnow. And they do work. But I understand the newer ones are tougher, but we're going to find out, aren't we? Because I got the new ones, and now I got the old ones. And I mean, I don't know how many colors there are. There's some brighter, bigger chartreuse one. Look at that sucker. Get you us a big bass on that down here. Try But I'm down in Florida right now, so probably a pretty good deal, kind of a weedless deal. This didn't come with any hooks or anything like that, but I have them from the new ones with the little rubber bands on them. And I'm sure these rubber bands wouldn't have been any good anyway. And so that was quite the deal. That was right in the back of an antique store. When I brought it up front, there was no price on it. And the lady looked at it and she said, "You want them little rubber baits in there too?" I'm like, yeah, I really do. She said, "Ma'am," she said, "that'll be $5.95, I think it was." And she wrote me up a receipt. Hey, still a sweet deal to me. I was expecting her to say something higher than that, because she, once they know you carried it up front, they kind of got you, So, but $5, and she's probably glad to get rid of it. Taking up space. It was next to some dog clippers in a case. They probably thought that was a fishing lure deal too. Probably somebody looking for dog clippers. They're never going to look back there. They had some other tackle boxes, but nothing really all that great. But thought I'd get me this. Yeah, it needs a little cleaning. But I don't know how much I'll scrub it, because I kind of like having that. Somebody glued that on there so they would know how to use those Banjo minnows. Now the only part that's left says something about weights. You could put a weight in them. I forgot about that, because I put nails. I'll take finished nails, brads they call them, I guess, and I'll stick them in a rubber worm and make them weight. So they did. They had that system with the Banjo minnow, and I forgot about that. And nose weight, which I can't see a picture of, but it says it there. I don't know if I can show you this or not. This is glued in there by somebody. I hope it's still around fishing, but maybe not, because this box are selling in an antique store. Yeah, eventually we're gone. And then your wife has that day, or your kids, where they have to sell your stuff off. Luckily, my son knew something about fishing lures, so and I'll be educating him. I don't think it matters with this box or the Banjo minnows, but I'll be able to fill up this both sides. You can open it from either side. Boom, boom. Really, I would say retro, not a classic antique or something. To me, it is. But that'll be good for my tricycle, my pedal kayak, and for my canoe, which is what we're using down here. So I had a ball, and I hope you enjoyed watching that and checking it all out. I know I do. I watch some of the ones I watch, and they have no idea what they have. And you're like, dang, how come I can't run across that? Well, yesterday I did, and luckily my wife was with me, got me some birthday presents, and I was able to get some of these pumpkin seeds to fish with, because, oh man, people think they're like a Spanish doubloon or something, so. Fish it? What? Well, these are replicas, so this one with the rattles is definitely going out there fishing. It's got 2 line ties, so I got to see what that's all about. Well, maybe it's kind of like a rattle trap or something, this one. Got the rattles in it. Quite a few of them by the sounds of it. Sounds pretty cool. And then the other guy, he don't. He's just solid. He's silent. Nothing going on in there. Which is probably the way they were originally made, I would think. I don't think they had rattles in them. Don't know much about them. If you know about it, let me know about it. I really would appreciate any of these lures that, look at this. A little blip just came up on my phone about retro bassing. Can't watch you now. I'm doing a show. Chris, I'm doing a show. Love that show. Retro bassing. If you haven't, if somehow you've managed to find my show without Chris's show, that's just wrong. So check out Retro Bassing, Angling Archaeology. I learn a lot from there too. He's always going and buying stuff like this and then showing it. And oh, D from D's Tackle Box. Yeah, that guy. Holy smokes! His kids got stuff that I'm jealous about. He got some sweet stuff. His daughter, Lady Z, I mean, yeah, she's showing her lures, and I'm like, wow. And he does the lure collecting with his kids, his boy and his girl, and he is a walking wealth of knowledge. So check that out. If somehow you've managed to find me before you found them, and maybe you did by the thumbnail on this thing with all these lures, but check them out too. So, thank you so much for coming along on this ride. I appreciate it, and it's nice to share all this with. I had a heck of a good time, like being a little kid out there. Those kids were on my solar panel. And thank you so much. If you get a chance, give us a like and a subscribe and a comment. I hope a lot of comments, because I could use some help figuring all this out, knowing what's something I shouldn't throw, and stuff that's cool to throw, like that huge flatfish that's been painted already. I don't really need to know about that. I'm pretty sure that's cool. But some of this other stuff, you might be like, "Oh, don't throw that." What are you thinking, Santa? Well, you folks have a great day. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Catch you later.
So here's all the stuff together, folks. On the table, except for the Magnum Plano and the Banjo minnows. They're in the box, and this is all the other stuff I got, the reels and lures. And had a good time. Pretty decent, eh? Well, folks, thanks for hanging out with me and joining me on this little, showing you what I got on my little flea market trip. Thanks so much for coming along on me. And if you could give me a like and a subscribe and a comment. What do you think about all this stuff? And a lot of that stuff I didn't know what it was. So if you could help me out with that, or any additional information on the things that I didn't know what they were, sure would appreciate it. Thank you so much. You folks have a great day.